Hi. Yeah, shout out to that guy. Probably won't follow you on Twitter because I don't know who you are, but hi. Shout out to that guy. I have arrived. As usual, I've written. Oh wow, okay, so yeah, this is working. So round of applause for you now. Hey, there we go. It works. Good. Love this website. It's nice. It's like, sometimes it doesn't work and then sometimes it does work. I'm trying to think of like a metaphor. What's it? Is it like a girlfriend that sometimes she hates you and then sometimes she's really nice, or is it like a badly behaved dog? I'm not sure. But YouNow's working. Great. Hi, I haven't even looked at myself. That's windswept. Okay, that's fine. Hi. So I'm gonna tweet the show now because I have arrived. Da 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 da. Have I spelled something wrong? Probably. I've got a coffee because it's freaking cold. Why is everyone talking about my jumper? Have you not seen this before? Oh, wow, that's exciting. Well, yes, let's talk about my jumper. Not yet, because that's probably really boring to everyone that doesn't care. That coffee looks so tiny. It is. Look, it's a YouTube mug. What does it say? It says, user-generated coffee. Yeah, right, YouTube. When did you make this mug? 2011? I think they did, actually. What would it say now? Hashtag current YouTube mug slogans. Let's do that. Not. I'm joking. Let's not do that. What are best? Is it flavored? What, the coffee? No, it's just coffee. I don't even make hot drinks. It's just because Amazing Phil was making a coffee, and I went, yeah, okay, I'll have one. But you guys all know about how I don't like to make hot drinks because I can't be bothered to switch a kettle on. What did you do today? Today I woke up. I filmed video things, and then I went to go see her at the cinema for the second time, which was just as good as it was the first time, because it was good. So yeah, cool. Talk about the lead. How is Phil's hand? Yeah, that happened today. So if you missed my tweet that I posted earlier this morning, Phil, in an attempt to make himself a bowl of crunchy nut cornflakes, which is something, but what is that sound? It's my chair. Can you hear it? Last week you were all complaining about my chair. It's squeaky. Squeaky as shit, this chair. It's like a stock noise of like a creepy door opening, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, he tried to make a bowl. I don't know what happened. It fell out of the cupboard, and then he tried to play basketball or something like with that, and it was like lacerated his hand open. He cut himself in like 3 different places. Turns out that the only sticker plasters we have in our house are Hello Kitty plasters, which are probably really useless as actual things that you use to contain your flesh from spilling everywhere, but looked pretty funny. And I tweeted a picture of the. But it was really, really funny because he somehow managed to just freaking explode a bowl everywhere and bleed everywhere just trying to get a bowl out of a cupboard. But at the same time, it wasn't funny because he was bleeding everywhere. It wasn't very serious, but it was one of the things where you didn't want to laugh at your friend in pain too much, even though you were both laughing at how funny it was that such a colossal disaster happened just from such a tiny bowl. So rest in peace, bowl that we got from doing the Crave Challenge. Still one more where that came from. That's okay. I can't eat. I really want to eat this snack, but I can't because then you'll all just be staring at me chewing for like 10 seconds. Why did I bring that with me? That's just going to tempt me the whole time. That's ruined my life slightly. What the hell is a plaster? What do you guys call plasters in America? Band-Aid. We were looking for a Band-Aid, but then the only Band-Aids we had were Hello Kitty Band-Aids. Ha! Said Google Translate. Why do you have them anyway? I don't know. I think a female friend of ours bought them and we're like, you need plasters. It's like, okay, where do you get Hello Kitty things? I want to stare at you chewing, said somebody. Okay. That's cool. It's weird hearing you say Band-Aid, is it? sidewalk. Let's do that thing. What is on your shirt? It's a man and a Doberman. It's cool. Selfridges sale, which are my two favourite words in the entire world. Yeah, there's... you don't have... What's the equivalent of somewhere like House of Fraser or Selfridges in America? A place that has lots of different shops inside it. Like a slightly fancy Macy's, maybe, had a sale, and it's like the best thing ever, because then things that are like really expensive are like £4 all of a sudden, and I'm just like, slap off the thing. A mall! No, like one shop. One shop in a mall that has like everything. Is that a thing? I got some shoes as well. They're pretty cool. They're weird. They're not like permanent shoes. I just got them as something that I can wear like sometimes. But they're pretty. Look at those. Wow, you can't even see because it's so dark. I'm going to turn up the brightness. Look, it's a shoe with zips. Makes me look like a Final Fantasy character, which is obviously what I'm going for always. So, there we go. Let's go. Maybe, what Final Fantasy characters, they just have loads of zips and belts. So basically, I'll wear these, and then I'll get, like, more zips, and I'll just stick them to my face, and then I'll just put belts all over me. And I'll be like, hi, I'm a character from an anime. There we go. That's my plan. Talk about the Brits. Yeah, that's the thing. Did you meet the Arctic Monkeys? No, I did not. And I'm going to stop twizzling on this chair. So, big thing that happened in my life recently. Do a haul for your next video. A haul, me. Yeah, can you imagine what my subscribers would be like if I fucking uploaded a haul? Dan, this is not the content that I subscribe to you for. Maybe I'll do an ironic haul on my second channel. No, I won't. What? I don't like the idea of hauls. Just look at my stuff. I don't know, weird. Anyway, Phil did an ironic haul at the end of his last video. Love an ironic haul. Although I have been talking about doing kind of like a strange spoof of a kind of video that a beauty girl would do at some point. What kind of things... What like stereotypes are there that kind of like beauty girl vloggers do? They do like, I went to Primark, here's my stuff haul, and they do a what's in my bag, and then a get ready with me. I'm not going to do, obviously not a makeup tutorial. Hi, I'm Dan, I woke up out of bed 5 minutes ago, and then I'm going to go on camera in front of all these people, not knowing what I look like. Yep. A night routine. Is that a thing? People do night routine videos? What the hell is my night routine? Oh, it's 3 a.m. I'm on the internet. I should really go to sleep. Otherwise, I'm going to naturally wake up at 1 p.m. and I'm wasting my life. But I just want to keep scrolling through Tumblr and adding things to my queue and then rearranging things in my queue so that they follow a color pattern for about 4.5 hours. Until there's only about 5 things left. Yeah, that's my night routine, and then I just kind of fall asleep looking at my phone. There you go. That's an exciting video. A summer lookbook. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, the Brits. Yeah, I guess we should talk about that. So that happened last week, Brit Awards. I guess you all know what that was because it happened. What do you want to know about it? What do you want to know about someone who went there and then stuff happened? Harry. Harry shirt. Okay, I'll talk about the Harry shirt. Oh, God. Okay, so I saw this shirt and it was amazing and beautiful. Just incredible shirt. And I didn't have to buy it, which was extremely convenient for me. So that's good because it was fancy. Anyway, and then I wore it, and it was cool. And then what happened was, I was on the red carpet, which was just this kind of like a board with loads of Brits logos on it. And then we saw basically like One Direction were the last people to come down the red carpet. I don't know why, who knows. I think they were literally the last people. It was funny, because basically the way it worked was, there's like a carpet here, and then there's a wall, and then there's a rope that separates the peasants and the people who aren't peasants, like we talked about last time we had a live show. But then everyone was given like their own little plot of land on it. So where I was, there was like the entrance, and then there was BBC Radio 1, BBC Radio 2, Capital FM, and then me and Phil for the Brits in that order, and then everyone else was just in a line. And the way it worked was everybody had to stay behind the rope unless you were filming something with the people, then you were allowed on the other side of the peasant divide. But everyone had to stay in their little things, and what would happen was the person would basically go down each person and speak to you, and you just politely wait there until that person may or may not want to speak to you. And then basically someone looks at the signs, so like every kind of pop star had like an agenty kind of person that would look at the sign and they'd go, okay, Capital FM, they're big, I'll speak to them. And then they'd go, what's that? Netherlands Radio .tk, no, I'm not going to speak to them, they're peasants. Walk past, Ellie Goulding, like that. And it was very civilized, very organized. And then people like Katy Perry walked past, and Lily Allen, and Pharrell, and everyone was just kind of waiting their turn. And it was all very organized. But then as soon as One Direction arrived, it just like everything fucking fell apart. It was the weirdest thing we'd ever seen. Like, I have no idea, like, the order that happened just completely disintegrated. It's like as soon as someone said One Direction here, everyone, like all the professional broadcasters and camera people were just like, what? They've arrived? And then literally, as soon as they walk through the door, everyone just hops over the rope. I'm like, whoa, what's happening right now? Everyone, all the camera people, all the people from like Beijing radio and some like Italian Perez Hilton blogging website just jump over the rope, run right to the front, just fuck any kind of order that was happening whatsoever, and then they're all just pointing cameras because the guy basically, I don't know who One Direction's guy is. I bet a whole bunch of you know every single person associated with them is, but was like, okay, so the guys have to go get ready. They only really have time to speak to like 3 people, so just stay back, stay the hell back. And then everyone was like, I want to speak to them. The guy was just like, step the hell back. And I was like, this is a riot. An actual riot is happening right now. And they basically only spoke to like 2 people, which were like the biggest people. And everyone just ran past and they were just shoving cameras in the face. And it was so crazy. It was like a riot / like bunch of hyenas surrounding something that they maybe just want to stare at because they like what it looks like, or destroy it and tear it to pieces, and it was terrifying. So then me and Phil were just stood there like, so we're supposed to be like the 3rd people in a row, but I don't really want to be one of the people desperately going, Harry, please look at me. And it was so like horrifying to see these people that were like 35-year-old journalists just going, Harry, please look at my camera, please. And I was just like, this is horrifyingly disgusting. Anyway, so that happened. That was funny. But then I was looking at them and I was like, wow, Louis' hair's getting long. That's cool. I like what Zayn's wearing, just kind of glancing in the distance. And I was like, am I wearing the same shirt as Harry? And I was like, Phil, am I wearing the same shirt as Harry? I was like, no, it's just a black and white one. It doesn't look like that. And I was like, okay. And then I go on Twitter and I check on Twitter. And someone had taken like a horribly ugly selfie with Harry on the red carpet, and I was just like, oh god. I mean, it's kind of funny. Like, okay, so firstly, I mean, just the novelty of me wearing the same shirt as Harry Styles, I'll get to that. But, like, it's really awkward. Like, when 2 girls wear the same dress to a party, that's not funny. It's just awkward, isn't it? It's just, there's nothing, like, particularly funny about it. It's just awkward. The fact that it was me and Harry, I found, obviously that was, like, freaking hilarious. But for most situations, that's just really awkward, because it's kind of like, well, one of us is going to have to get changed, and it's not going to be me. But getting into the situation, so, I mean, I'm not going to get opinionated, because, like, okay, so firstly, I think that me accidentally wearing the same shirt to an event as Harry from One Direction is probably the most notable moment of my life so far, I'd have to say. Because, firstly, the picture I tweeted is the most popular tweet I've ever posted in my entire life. So it's just funny that in my entire life so far, probably the most notable event of my entire existence around the world to date happens to be that I was just a guy that wore the same shirt as Harry, which that's funny. And I mean, you know, generally, obviously Harry Styles is a far superior human to me in every single way in the entire world. I feel like he didn't go to that much effort with what he was wearing. I don't know, it's just that, like, all the other members of One Direction looked so, like, great. Like, Zayn just looked so great, didn't he? But then I feel like Harry was just kind of wearing the shirt. I mean, at least I wore, like, a bow tie or something like that, so, like, I didn't acknowledge just the incident on Instagram, because I was like, should I Instagram this picture or just tweet it? Because you know how Instagram is like the worst community in the entire world, and how, like, if you Instagrammed a picture of a dog, there would be like a shitstorm in the comments. Because you know how any pop star thing, like someone in a picture of Ariana Grande would be like, she's fat, shitstorm happens. So it's like, even though I didn't acknowledge it on Instagram, it was just amazing watching the who wore it better shitstorm happen in the comments under my Instagram photo. I love the internet sometimes. I love Instagram because it's kind of just like an utterly harmless shitstorm that doesn't mean anything, and it's like really, really silly. So that was that was funny. So I wore the same shirt as Harry. I got to keep my shirt, and it's a really freaking great shirt. Anyway, that happened. Are there any specific questions you want to ask about that, or is there anything else about the actual? But because I guess it is kind of interesting that I went. So are there any questions? What about Beyonce? Man, I mean, I don't want to get opinionated, but I feel like Beyonce's performance was a bit boring. Like, I'm not gonna claim that Beyonce isn't the best person currently alive on Earth, because obviously she's Beyonce. She's better than all of us. Beyonce is literally God, but she just kind of stood there in a green dress or something. I mean, I don't know. She could have, like, there could have been some like confetti or something. I mean, like, when you listen to XO, it's like you could really kind of get into the song and it could sound a bit emotional. But she just kind of smiled and sang, and it was good. But I was expecting some, like, hair flipping or just a confetti cannon or something. You know what I mean? Pharrell's hat, yep. Saw Pharrell's hat. I said on the radio show that I did on Sunday that I didn't want to post that selfie with Pharrell picture I took because I didn't want to be annoying, because I'm not about that life. But then everyone kept telling me that it was just so funny that I posted it. So then I had to post up a follow-up tweet telling people to not find me annoying. So I was just having, like, a terrible crisis at that particular moment, but I hope you liked the photo. What about Lorde? Lorde was great. I like that she sassed MasterCard in her speech. I'm really happy that she won the big international female. I don't want to sass my employer, but what is happening with my fringe? Oh dear God, what is this? I'm so sorry. I really don't want to just be touching my hair for the, oh dear God, what is going on? Why don't I ever look in the mirror? Anyway, yeah, it's cool. I don't understand the Brits categories though. It's like, with the Grammys, it's like, people are nominated for things. So it's like best rock single, best R&B album, best pop single or album or duo. But for the Brits, it's like best British female. You know what I mean? It's like, it's weird that they're separating the sexes. You know what I mean? So it's like Ellie Goulding nominated for the pop category has to be in a different category to Justin Timberlake. There's a male and a that. Okay, I find it weird that they divide the sexes, but then I find it weird that it's just like best person. You know what I mean? It's like, you got the Brit Award for best girl. You didn't get the Brit Award for best pop single or best rock album or something like that. It's just, you are best girl, which I find a bit weird. Anyway, yeah, but that's cool. I find that the Brit Awards are generally a bit more in touch with the young generation than the Grammys. Anyway, I feel like the Grammys is a big giant shitstorm between them, completely blanking any new bands or artists or whatever. Like, no rapper will ever win best album, you know what I mean? Or like like the metal and rock categories are the worst. It's like when you look, if you go to the Grammys website and then just look at who's won the Grammys for like best metal album, it's just like Black Sabbath for like the last 30 years, and it's like, dudes, more bands have existed than the people that were famous like 40 years ago. That's why the Grammys are the worst, because it basically means that the best album, metal and rock categories are just like fucking meaningless, because it's like, what, Paul McCartney won the Grammy for rock single? Are you kidding me? What about every band that's ever done something for the last year? Like, oh my god. Anyway, so Fake Your Death, My Chemical Romance released a new song. Liked it. Made me emotional. Like with most other things, I had to detach myself from it. I couldn't get too into it because I was like, if I start thinking about how much My Chemical Romance meant to me in my life, then I'll probably have a mental breakdown. So I just need to completely emotionally detach myself from this while I listen to the song right now. And I was like, yeah, cool song. Alex Turner's speech. What about his speech? I don't have opinions. I mean, I wasn't offended. I don't feel negative emotions, so I don't have anything bad to say about Alex Turner's speech. Any cringy interviews? It was a bit cringy. Again, like, I don't know, it was weird in the sense that I feel like I wrote this as a tweet, and now I feel like it's a shame that I'm just going to kind of talk about it on my live show instead of tweeting it to everybody, but still. That there's like a divide between presenters and artists, you know what I mean? It's like when someone doing an interview for some like pop radio stations, like, oh, hey, economy, how are you, blah, blah, blah. It's like one of them is just like a person talking, but then another person is like an artist who's contributing something to the world. And mine and Phil's struggle is that when we do stuff like the Brits, I'm not saying that our fucking Backstage tour was the epitome of art in the universe, but it felt a bit creative, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if you saw the Backstage tour of the O2 Arena video that I made with Phil, but that's basically why we did it. They asked us to make cool videos for their awards ceremony, and we said, yeah, we'll do a Backstage tour. And that's basically why we wanted to do it. So we didn't so much want to do the red carpet interviewy things, because I find it extremely cringe, but we kind of had to. But then I loved the Backstage tour. So anyway, if you guys don't know, there was this room, I'm talking about the Fab Room, if you guys haven't seen it, in the artist dressing room corridor, which is just this hallway where like all the artist dressing rooms were, there was a door called the Fab Room that you had to put your hands into hand scanners to open. I have no idea how that worked. We got a security person with a key to open it to us. And then inside the room was like a room decorated like an old lady's living room. And then behind the mirror was this secret lounge. And then behind a bookcase in it was like another one. And it was just like, I like died 1,000 deaths in that room. So if you haven't seen it, then go watch that video. But something that you didn't see in the video, because obviously a lot had to be cut out because it was like 2 hours of us walking around, was in the corner there was a photo booth machine. So it was like a little touchscreen PC turned vertically that had a photo booth program running on it. And I crashed the program and broke the PC. So next time Rihanna books out that room for her party, probably Beyonce actually, because she's doing like a 10-day slot in the O2 in a couple of days, and she tried to take a selfie on the photo booth machine. I broke it because I thought it would be really funny, because I worked out that it was basically just a computer on Windows XP. So I was like, if I do all these things, then maybe I can play Space Cadets Pinball, you know the pinball game that I'm talking about, on the photo booth computer. And then it like blue screened and turned off, and then I couldn't get it to turn on again. So that was just wherever we went, we left a trail of destruction in our wake. And also I started playing with the color that you could change the walls to, and then I couldn't get it to change back either. Did you meet 5SOS? I walked past them and made awkward eye contact with them, but they were walking somewhere and we were walking somewhere, so there was no kind of beautiful union if you wanted that to happen. Yay the pinball game. Yay the pinball game. Lalula George. Yeah, so other awkward moment. Aluna from Aluna George, who are a cool couple of guys that make music that were on that song By Disclosure. I called her Lalula accidentally because I had a bit of a stroke and said the words wrong, and that was incredibly awkward. Lily Allen looked incredible. I'm going to shut up. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I want to stop talking about like pop stars soon and just talk about something less weird. But it's interesting for people that do care. Lily Allen looked incredible. Like, oh my god, she looked so freaking cool with her hair and her dress, and she was so nice, and she was so funny. Lily Allen was just so great, and it was hilarious that I asked her what was in her bag, and she started unpacking everything that was in her bag, and she got out her e-cigarette and her vodka, and then she gave it all to Phil to put back in her bag, and it was so awkward, but it was amazing. It was so amazing. Just watching Phil try to pack a flask of vodka back into Lily Allen's Chanel clutch, I died. It was such a weird and amazing moment. So she was really nice. Haim were really nice as usual. Kylie Minogue remembered us, which is awesome. She had like a 2-minute conversation with Phil, and I was like, yes, they're still friends. Go. I felt a bit like one of you guys would probably feel watching Kylie Minogue and Phil have a conversation. I was like, she remembers him. Oh god, this is so nice. I'm just enjoying this weird moment where they're reunited right now. So yeah, that was cool. Spotify, that changes the subject. Is there anything else before we move on that you want to discuss about the Brits? Tom Adele, oh my god, every time I've met Tom Adele twice now, and just excruciatingly awkward, terrible experiences. He is terrifying. I'm terrified of him. Experiences like trying to hold a conversation with Tom Adele is the exact reason why I really hate doing things like that, and almost never want to do anything like that ever again. Like, he's really nice, but I just had a terrible, awkward time. Barely survived it. The Becoming YouTube? What about it? Becoming YouTube? Oh my god, like, if I thought when Ben filled those interviews that a year later he'd still be hashing out the same opinions, Jesus Christ, like, so you guys know, any opinion I express in Becoming YouTube is now completely invalid, and you know how people grow and change as people as they grow up, and you can think of it as almost like, if a person is like 100% of their body, and like a hard drive, when you learn new things, it deletes old things. It's almost like the Dan in Becoming YouTube has almost been completely deleted by now. So it's just, and every time I see it, I'm like, oh god, no, why did you make us sit so close together, Ben? We were in shot. Oh god. So that's cool. But he filmed a new bit of it the other week, which will be refreshing whenever the hell that goes up in like 15 years, probably, knowing him. Spotify update. Okay, you're not going to guess, but feel free to hazard a ponder at who I have been listening to recently, according to Spotify. Okay, here we go. Grimes, no. Al Spector, no. Billy Ray Cyrus. That Billy Ray Cyrus song, man, I love it. It must be a joke, that Achy Breaky Heart remix. And I find it so funny. I've been listening to it loads. Been getting turned up in the kitchen making some cornflakes. You're all wrong. Apparently, my most listened to artist this week is Lil Wayne, followed by One Direction, okay, followed by Lily Allen. Okay, I don't think I've been listening to much Spotify this week, so I think I maybe listened to like 2 songs twice, and that's gone, hey, we're your most listened to artists. No, Spotify, you're full of shit. So that's just utter crap. What have I've been listening to the Guild Wars 2 soundtrack a lot on my phone because classical music is peaceful and it doesn't have words in it. Are you going to the Tri-State playlist? Probably not. No. Do you feel Young Money now? Dude, I'm always Young Money, deep within my soul. You know what I mean. Drake is my spirit animal. Teen Wolf. I've nearly watched the whole first season of Teen Wolf. I'm not going to express any opinions about it, because if I criticize it, you'll get mad, and if I say good things about it, people that hate it will things, but it's a thing that I'm watching. There we go. K-pop. What about K-pop? I feel like K-pop has really slowed down since Gangnam Style. I don't know, I feel like, was it 2012? Was like, up to Gangnam Style, K-pop was really exciting for people that are into it, or getting into it. I was like, yeah man, I'm all about girls' generation, and G-Dragon and Big Bang and EXO and all these crazy K-pop bands that sound so funny and look so cool. And then it's almost like since Gangnam Style and what's it called? Gentleman came out, I just haven't found anything interesting or exciting about it anymore. Maybe I'm just out of the loop and I need to speak to some of my friends that are into K-pop and they need to show me where it's at. Have you seen Frozen? I still haven't seen Frozen. Still, I'm sorry. I wonder if I could sing Let It Go in the original octave. I do have really freaky Matt Bellamy level vocal cords. It doesn't mean it'll sound nice, but I wonder if I could. I'm not going to do that right now. Me either, Daniel. Oh my god, why? I'm sorry, I haven't. It's I've been watching everything else recently because so I'm somebody that's into films. I'm one of those hipstery nerds that's into like cinema and stuff like that. And as you all know, I love me an awards show. I am obsessed with awards show. They are so trashy and awful and meaningless, and just the very thought of critiquing art on like a sponsored televised event is just really kind of like sickening and hypocritical, but they're so trashy and amazing. I love award shows. So Academy Awards this Sunday, I'm excited. So basically I've been watching all of the Academy Award nominated films because I'm having an Oscars party on Sunday. It's good. I am having friends, because you have friends, round to my apartment, and we're all going to stay up till 5 a.m. watching the Academy Awards. Which may or may not be good, but whatever. It's just about hanging out with people, so that's cool. So I'm in the process of watching everything again. I wanted to watch Her again. I've seen everything I want to see, apart from Dallas Buyers Club and 12 Years a Slave, yet. So, I mean, obviously, I need to see 12 Years a Slave, obvs. And then I've seen pretty much everything else. What do you have any ideas for how I can make my Oscar party a success? What kind of nibbles should I have? What if you were coming around to my house to sit and watch TV for 5 hours when you were really tired, what would you want to eat? Is mainly the thing. Popcorn, yes. Maybe like weird flavored popcorn. Cheese. Just cheese. Hey guys, I got cheese plates. Probably Doritos and dip. And popcorn. Pizza maybe. Yeah. It'll be after my radio show, so I'll probably be really traumatized and want a pizza, like I am after every radio show. Let it go, let it go. Is Let It Go not on Spotify? Cheesy balls, said somebody. Wow, that sounds... Phil doesn't like cheese, so I can't have that. He's cheese phobic. He's a bad flatmate if you want to live with someone that likes cheese. Every time, so this is irrelevant, but every time Let It Go comes on, because our show, mine and Phil's radio show, is on at 7 o'clock after the chart show, which is when they count down just the top 40 singles in the UK from 40 to 1. And so many of you guys really like Frozen that this song is in the charts, so they play it every week. And it's really funny, because obviously it's just like, I mean, I don't want to express opinions again. I'm so afraid of ever expressing opinions. But I'm guessing a lot of people out there consider it a really great musical theatre song. But we just find it funny when it comes on in Radio 1 because it's a really jarring, intense song. So it's like, if you're thinking about it while you're on Tumblr and crying, it's probably a really great song. Or if you're standing in your bedroom looking into a mirror and trying to sing it, it's probably a really great song. But if you're listening to Radio 1, trying to hear some dancey music, and you're in your car, and then freaking Idina Menzel comes on, screaming in your head, it would just sound horrible, and we're just like, how many car crashes must this song called? Again, I think it's great, but just like, we just... Like, imagine being a guy in a car with the window rolled down, like, and then you hear, like... And it just gets so intense, like, you're driving and then it's like... And it just gets more extreme. It's so amazing. I don't know the song well enough to... Where's the climax? I think it's like, it's about to be now. We find it so funny because everyone in the office is like, Oh God, no, not this song. And then me and Phil always turn up the speakers because at the BBC they have the radio stations playing out of speakers in the office. So whenever it comes on, I always stand up on it and I turn it up full way, and we're just like, and everyone's like, imagine being a cat listening to this. Again, really great song, and I love Idina Menzel, but still. You guys know what I mean? It's an intense song, which is why I love when it's played on the radio in the middle of like Jason Derulo and something else. But yeah, no, I freaking loved Tangled so much, so I think I'd really like Frozen as well. Did you meet Bruno Mars? No, Bruno Mars didn't do any porno. Bruno Mars is known for being one of those guys that doesn't really need the promo, so he doesn't do interviews, because he's already an international megastar, and we're just blessed to be in his presence, which is fair enough, because Bruno Mars is a pretty big deal, IDK. Did you meet Bastille? I did meet Bastille. I'm convinced that all of the members of Bastille hate me and Phil, and they're not the kind of people that like our quirky interview style. Sometimes I'm like, it's weird, because me and Phil are obviously individuals with very different styles, very different sense of humours, but then there's like a Dan and Phil zeitgeist of like a sense of humour. So when you think of like Dan and Phil content, it's maybe a lot less existential crisis-y than my content, and a lot more just kind of like fun, and it's still like creative and nerdy and cool and stuff, which is, you know, I know why you guys like watching our videos, which we love, but sometimes I wonder if certain bands just really don't like the vibe. Like, I was convinced that Pete Wentz really hates me and Phil, but I think he's just tired all the time because he's internationally traveling. But I really like, we saw Bastille again, and they were like, it's you guys who asked us those funny questions in the tent. And we were like, yep. But I think they acted as if they were pleased to see us, so maybe. But I feel like Dan from Bastille, even if he did like the questions, is maybe a bit like, what are you going to ask me? And stuff like that. But they're really nice, so cool. Your shirt you Instagrammed, yeah, the Leonardo DiCaprio shirt. So I saw that on a random website, and I was 99% convinced that it was just going to steal my credit card information because it looks dodgy as shit, but then I got it, and I've worn it in my new video. So yeah, it's beautiful. Because I reblogged a picture on Tumblr of the shirt in a store, and I was like, this is just something that's like somewhere in the world, but it's not real. And then I saw it in the internet, and I was like, I could wear something that's real. And then I'm like, oh, that's quite funny. I wore something that I reblogged, so that's cool. When is your new video? Oh, good question. I finished filming all the bits for it today, in between going to cinema trips, which is obviously my priorities. So it will go up when I've edited it, which will be soon, but I don't want to give you a specific day in case I get hit by a meteor, which could happen. So let's all pray to whatever religion you follow that Dan does not get hit by a meteor, so I may finish editing my new video quicker. But why don't you go to Brazil? I'd love to go to Brazil one day. Are you going to Summer in the City? Yes, I am. But don't be sad if you are not, because you are talking to me right now. Ooh, isn't that scary? Yeah, you right there. Wow, we're interacting. How odd is that? Jared Leto. Yeah, was he like not nominated for Best Supporting Actor at the BAFTAs? Like, and it went to that boat guy. I haven't seen Captain Phillips, so I can't judge limo driving boat guy. But maybe he was that awesome. I sprained my ankle. Help, said Lucy D. Oh dear. How was the cinema? It was good. Did you see what Phil said about the banana-eating lady? I went to see a film today in the cinema, and right next to us there was a woman, and she just kept producing bananas from her handbag. She just kept eating them. Like, I understand that some people that maybe, like, for whatever reason, bring in their own snacks to the cinema. Like, you may be frugal with your money, you may just not particularly like Coke and popcorn. I, at every stage in my life, have just really liked the whole, like, process of going to the cinema and having, like, a Coke and a popcorn. But this woman just kept producing bananas and eating them, and she just, like, smelt of bananas. So I was, like, eating my popcorn, but then I was, like, smelling bananas, and I was like, man, I don't like you. So yeah. Oh, and we did a video with Charlie is so cool. Like, if you didn't see, do you remember that guy? Charlie is so cool. Like, who remembers that guy in our previous lives? Yeah. He decided when everybody was at YouTube camp the other week hanging out at Google that he'd spend a day filming videos with everybody. So he decided that what Charlie would like to do if he gets into a room with me and Phil is to get some plasticine and try to make a rainbow-coloured robot unicorn. So if you want to see that, that's a video while you're waiting for my new video. If you haven't seen that yet, Dan, Phil, and Charlie is so cool. Like, make a robot unicorn called Gertrude, which I was frankly very pleased with the finished product of, because I was worried that it would be, like, utterly horrifying. Do a video with Jack Harries. My most viewed video is with Jack Harries. I'm hanging out with Jack and Finn next week, actually. I keep seeing them, but we haven't actually hung out in a very long time, which is sad. We're both equally busy people, but they terrify me as well. Like, I asked Finn something in a DM, and he replied to me, and it made me scared. I don't know why. I was like, I don't have to reply to Finn. So yeah, there you go. He's just too cool, man. But I'd happily, awkwardly pack things back into Lily Allen's handbag. Yeah. So that's what is my life. I don't even know. Eurovision party. When is the Eurovision Song Contest? I feel like it just happened. It's a winter thing, isn't it? Kinda. I have no concept of time whatsoever. It's just falling through my fingers like a waterfall in between procrastination and duties that we must immediately attend to. Oft it sifts through our fingers. Yep. Do a video with Pewds. I'd love to one day, maybe. Yeah. Dan, you're humming Let It Go, am I? So let's talk about how often I say like. God, I need to turn that down. I was listening to last week's radio show the other day, and I was telling an anecdote, and I said like every other 4 words. And I know that like is a word that you have to use, or you don't have to use. But I mean, obviously when I'm not thinking about how my conversation is going and I'm just naturally talking, I'm like all the time, and I wanted to Blastoise projectile vomit everywhere. What else have you been up to? Said Susie Q. I realised the other day that I'd watched more of Twitch Plays Pokemon than I have of the Winter Olympics, which was slightly worrying, but to anybody that's watching that, it makes my entire life. Me and Phil were asked to host a Pokemon event for actual Nintendo the other day. I don't know enough details about it, but I got an email from someone, and they were like, hey, so Nintendo want you to host this Pokemon event. And I was like, so I've been having this kind of internal debate recently about me and Phil not really wanting to do things where we're just presenting, because really we like creating things and making content. But then when someone was like, Pokemon would like you to host a Pokemon event, I was like, fuck everything, yes. I will set out so hard. Yeah, so that'd be funny. I'll be like, my one requirement is that you give me a perfectly EV-trained, shiny Arceus with 6 perfect IVs. About 6 people will know what I mean, but maybe. Surely they can just program that. They can do that, can't they? They can do anything. They're Nintendo. Yo, Game Freak, that's my price. Sort it out. I want 6 of them. I'm about that life. Come to Russia. Okay, one day. Have you seen Camp Dakota? Not yet. I have it in my to watch later YouTube thing. You know when you're on YouTube and you're signed in and you accidentally click that button and it's like, added this to the watch later playlist, and you're like, what? I checked that out like this morning, and it was basically just like random videos from the last 7 years of my YouTube account that I don't think I'd ever intentionally clicked on, ever. So it was basically just like random videos that I'd accidentally clicked on this button on, and I was just like, it's just cat videos from the last 6 years of my life. Just weird. So that's a feature. What is this crinkly thing? Ooh, it's a £5 note. There we go. Do you know where Croatia is? Yes. Fact. But do more collabs. I should. It is one of my many New Year's resolutions is to be less antisocial on YouTube, which I've done one so far, and it's with Phil, which doesn't count, so I'm failing pretty hard. Okay, right, so the weeks just go by in life. They just go by. Like, sometimes you feel like, I don't know, to me, 2013 felt like such a huge year. Like, I don't know about you guys, but didn't 2013, I mean, it went quickly while it was happening, but didn't it feel like it was such a long year where so many things happened? But then it's already the end of February. Like, Jesus Christ, it is already a sixth of the way through 2014. I spent basically like the whole of December having a mental breakdown. my existential crisis meter in December was like at an all-time high. I was like 512% done with life. So I spent my entire holiday in India with my family, just like laying awake at night, having an existential crisis under my mosquito net. And I was like, 2014 will be the year. And then it's like I haven't even had time to start 2014 yet, because all of the weeks have just like happened, and we're already a sixth of the way through the year. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like, I was like, man, 2014, my New Year's resolution is just to be way less busy. I just don't want to do anything. I just want to like stay at home and make like a YouTube videos and just think about stuff. And if I'm not doing anything and I'm just at home all day, other than the one day I now have to go to the radio show, then I have loads of time to make loads of videos. And it's just like a sixth of the year has already gone. Like, what the heck? I'm aware that me and Phil were booked in for the Brit Awards thing, which is something that we committed to a long time ago. So that was always going to ruin my life for about 10 days and make me very busy, which is understandable. But now that's over, I'm like, I swear that I am not going to do anything until Playlist Live. So I promised myself that I am basically not going to go outside other than the radio show, which I have to go outside for, until basically the end of March. I just want to see what happens if I do nothing. Because my New Year's resolution was to be less busy and do nothing. I failed so hard, and I'm just like, oh god. So yeah, that's cool. Just to let you guys freak out a bit, because I know that you guys love coming to the world of Dan Is Not on Fire in the mood to have some light entertainment and some smiles on the internet, only to be faced with deep existential crises. But I'm sorry, there's like a 1 in 3 chance of that happening. You love getting bacon, Dan. I do. I love the bacon button on this website. It is so great. Have you played the new Final Fantasy? Lightning Returns. I've got it, but I'm currently in the middle of playing through Final Fantasy IX for like the thanks for the bacon, guys. Oh yeah. Oh, I appreciate this so much. Thank you. You are contributing to my obesity that I'm desperately fighting against. Man, exercise is like, food is like the best thing about life, and I just love food so much, and I never get full, so I wish that I could just eat all the food all the time, but then I just hate exercise, and I just hope that one day I become one of those weirdos that gets like addicted to the buzz of exercise. I bet at least 3 people watching this are like that, and but not yet, just all about the bacon. I bought some bacon the other day. Sometimes I'm like, I want to be healthy, so I'll buy some muesli, and then I go shopping while I'm hungry, and I'm like, Ooh, maple bacon. Yes, I will buy a pack of maple bacon. While I'm at it, I might as well buy some eggs and some waffles and some maple syrup. And then I get home and I'm like, fuck, that's not muesli, Dan. Jesus Christ, you're going to get fat again like you did in July. Anyway, so yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I've got the new Final Fantasy, but I haven't played it yet. I'm still excited about 15. I hope it's good. But the general history of Final Fantasy is an extremely large topic that none of you give a shit about, so I'll try not to diverge onto that. And what else has been happening before I wind this over? Oh, Black Butler, the anime, caught up to date with that, watched the 2 seasons, and I'm excited for more seasons. Yeah, that was... Yeah, I mean, I've said each week it's not on the same level as Full Metal Alchemist and Attack on Titan and possibly the first season of Sword Art Online, but it's good. Even though I really hated some of the characters from Season 2, but I'm not going to go there, because again, like Final Fantasy, so many of you don't give a shit about specific things that you haven't seen, and that's okay. So we should just stick to talking about really popular things that everybody knows. Nice cushions, thank you. Yeah, they're cool cushions, aren't they? Alois Trancy. I bet you will love Alois Trancy. You shouldn't. He's a horrible, despicable person, and you're all crazy girls that terrify me, and you like all the wrong things for the wrong reasons. I'm joking. But you throw your morals out the window just for a cute boy. Guys, think about it. I pray that one day you'll be sane. You have an exam tomorrow, Rebecca P. Oh God. Good luck with that. Sam Smith, question mark. Sam Smith's cool. He's nice. I thought that he really, really, really hated me and Phil too, but then he followed me on Twitter, so I couldn't have traumatized him that much, which was good. New Elder Scrolls Online. I have only heard utterly terrible things about Elder Scrolls Online. I'm sorry, and I love the Elder Scrolls as a general series, but I don't think... I'm not somebody that's addicted to MMOs and will switch between MMOs. I think I'm just specifically in love with Guild Wars 2 as like a thing in my life. I don't feel like if a better MMO comes that it will replace it because I'm too in love with the fictional universe. Man, I love talking about things that only 3 people know about. Walking Dead's back. Oh yeah, that's cool. I'm going to watch some of that later. English weather, what's it doing? English weather, we're not going to get snow, guys, are we? We're not, are we? It's just not going to happen. Like I was waiting for the inevitable wet January followed by incredibly freezing blizzard February of death. But then I just don't think it's going to happen. It's just kind of gotten like a bit warmer, like a bit grey, and then I'm like, I wanted a snowpocalypse. I wanted one. What? The winter that Avatar came out in the cinema, that was like Snowpocalypse 9000. I wanted another one. We got shit this year. And I know that America's like, Polar Vortex! But you've been hogging it, okay? You've been hogging it too much. It's not fair. We missed out on the festivity. It's global warming. People, it's politically incorrect to say global warming now. You should just say climate change. Because if you say global warming, then the kind of morons that deny global warming are like, you say global warming, but it's snowing, and people are like, oh no, that's not what global warming meant. Climate change. There we go. What am I doing? Do you read all of your app replies ever? No, only when I check them, and you'll know that because it's usually after I tweet something and I want to confuse people. All randomly, but that's the joy. Any thoughts on Valve games? Generally quite fantastic and good. Love Valve. Everybody loves Valve. They're good guys. Come to Qatar, said somebody. I'd love to come to Qatar. How random. Yeah, one day when I tour the world, I will come to Qatar. I want to come to all the countries. I get so many things in this chat about Fallout Bird. Is it really that big of a thing? Yes, Fallout Bird. It's like Flappy Bird, but with Fallout Boy. Yes, that's, yeah. I am aware. But do you like World of Warcraft? I played Vanilla WoW. I got like a level 40 Tauren Druid, but I just didn't like the grindiness. I'm not gonna get too opinionated because, oh my god, like, people's opinions on World of Warcraft, like, if there's a list of things that you guys that don't give a shit think will cause shitstorms, seriously, opinions on MMOs, wow, then you're talking about a fanboy war. And that's the kind of fan... Sometimes I wonder, like, what's the absolute worst, like, demographic to have on, like, internet? Is it, like, angry male gamers? Because I see so many people that are, like, Twitch streamers that just play, like, League of Legends, and they're like, a crazy fanboy stalked my mum and threatened to blow up my house after disconnecting my internet. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, that sounds quite traumatizing. Okay. Do you do your eyebrows? No. Someone tried to do that once and I was afraid. It's very painful. I probably should, though. If I ever meet a female that's willing to do that without pulling off my face skin, then sure, why not? Favorite Doctor? Oh, I don't have one. Maybe, well, I don't know. Like, I feel like David Tennant Doctor Who was one of, like, the best things that ever happened to the universe. But I loved Matt Smith. And Matt Smith was great. And Eccleston was fine. He was good, yeah. How have you been recently? Generally quite good. Yeah, I mean, I obviously just verge between having like a full-blown existential crisis and then just getting on with the immediate responsibilities of life until I then have another existential crisis. I was thinking, like, I want to tweet more things that are kind of like funny. Sometimes I have these like ideas for tweets that seem like really deep and depressing, but actually I'm kind of like laughing while I'm writing them, but then I'm worried that if I tweet them, then everyone will just kind of think I'm having like a Jaden Smith mental breakdown instead of kind of laughing at them with me. But maybe I should just do it and YOLO, because even if 3 people in 1 million understand, that's what matters, right? Yes, I could get so deep right now, but I'm not going to do that. I've been contemplating a lot about like whether or not you exist unless something has been perceived by other people. Like the tree falling in the woods thing. I mean, obviously you do on a personal level, but I guess it's all about like what you value in life, you know, whether like kind of like how your existence is acknowledged by others is important to you. Anyway, so yeah, and One Direction, cool, great. Your comment on Phil's new video about the pulling off his trousers. Yeah, that would have been funny. That would have been one of those moments where I walk in and Phil usually keeps it in and puts it at the end of the video. I'm sorry that that didn't actually happen this time. It usually happens, though. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it, really. Like, I'm going to spend all day in my pajamas editing a video, living the dream. That'll be cool. Sat in this very chair. So I've spent a lot of today in this chair, and I'm probably going to spend a lot of the next 2 days in this chair. Good thing it's a comfy chair. And that's it, really. Is there anything else you want to peruse before I let you go have a life? And by let you go have a life, I mean eat, because, oh my god, I'm so hungry. I'm always hungry. I'm always hungry. How did stalking Katy Perry go? Katy Perry, I could just talk about, like, stuff that would bore people for ages. One of Katy Perry's pop star demands was that wherever she goes has to smell of a certain kind of incense. So the day before Katy Perry came, the whole backstage area smelled of this incense. And I was just thinking, she has to share that corridor with Bruno Mars and Beyonce. And what if Katy Perry's demand for the corridor to smell of a certain smell of incense clashed with Beyonce? You know what I mean? Like, what if Beyonce arrived and she was like, I don't like this smell. But then Katy Perry was like, I'm not coming in this room unless it smells of this. You know what I mean? It's a bit... Not that I think Katy Perry demands, I just think that she likes the smell, so she... Whatever, that's fair enough. But you know what I mean? It's like... What happens if there was like a clash? Because I heard that Nicki Minaj at a Radio 1 event wanted everything in her dressing room to be draped with white fabric. I'm not shitting you. She literally wanted this, everything to be... She needed everything to be covered with white fabric. But then what if, like, Mariah Carey walks past and she's like, no, everything has to be gold. What happens? This must have happened at some point, right? Questions. Questions that I will find answers for you one day. I need to find, like, someone's agent and then be like, what happens if there's an awkward clash between smells and corridors? I bet it's got awkward sometimes. Da, 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 Will you be at Glasgow for big weekend? Probably. You might not meet me there because I'll be busy working, but unless I get fired, I'll probably be there. Yeah. You're wearing jeans for once, Dan. I am, instead of tracksuits. It's because I've been outside. I bought the same pair of jeans that I wear. I only have basically one pair of jeans that are denim, which are these ones. And I just rebuy them anytime they get ripped or anything like that. And everyone owns these jeans. Like, seriously. They're the same jeans that Anthony Padilla wears all the time. They're good jeans. I like them. They're nice. And yeah, that's it. Sorry for waffling so much, but that's kind of just what these live shows are. You know what I mean? Just kind of like an endless stream of consciousness in which if I stop talking for 5 seconds, it turns into an awkward silence. Please remember this is just one possible portrayal of the character perceived as Dan Howell. Oh yeah, and the Kanye West remix of Drunken Love. Love it. So great. Like, seriously. The Weeknd remix of Drunken Love. Love The Weeknd. These are great. That's really cool. Kanye's verse, great. Turns out, making a video for it. Oh my god. When does that come out? Has it already come out? I hope not. If not, yeah, that's really, it's great. It made my life. And I can't believe that they're making a video for it. That's just hilarious. Because it's so dirty. Anyway, cool. Is there anything else I've missed before I go? I've gone over an hour, so I feel like if there's nothing pressing, I'm just gonna awkwardly disappear. Okay, look forward to my new video, and I'm not gonna say anything deep. And bye.